What's up, planner peeps? Today I have for you my 2025 planner and journal lineup with some unexpected players, I would say. I have 2 planners and 3 journals, but I guess I would consider this a planner slash journal. But I'm hoping this video is going to be quick and concise, where I just kind of walk you through what I have going on, and then if I'm feeling up for it, I hope to do more detailed flip throughs of these notebooks. So let's just dive right in. I'm going to preface this entire video by saying I have incredibly bad memory. So any products I mention, I will do my best to link everything in the description because I will probably get the exact names wrong. So let's start with this. This is my daily planner, my productivity planner, my functional planner, all of the above. It is an true A5 size ring planner from Moterm. Well, the cover is at least. And then I have yearly collections and lists in here just to like quickly flip through. I have year at a glance. I have a period tracker, my pillbox checklist, some lists of chores. When did I last? A wish list, a makeup tracker because I'm trying to be better about throwing away makeup when it reaches the expiry date. Someday maybe 25 and 2025 and some pen swatches. Also a place to put any upcoming events for 2026. In the monthly section, I have an overview of the year, just kind of important dates and events, and then birthdays. And then for December, I have just a cover page, a calendar, list of movies and shows that I've watched, and then a place to put highlights. And then I have a tracker page and a monthly task list. I would say I am really good about checking this every single day because I use it quite often, especially the trackers. Right now, I'm tracking my work hours, my steps, whether I take my vast list of pills and supplements, whether I'm tracking my calorie intake, and then working out. And then in the daily section, I have my key. I have a list of monthly and daily tasks. These are personal tasks, and then I have work tasks. I've eliminated a weekly layout because if I have it in a bound notebook, I'm going to use it, but it's not necessarily that functional for me. All the information I had in a weekly view, I can just have in a monthly or a daily view. The way I'm using my daily pages, I'm writing them out myself, but I have the day, the weather. On the left-hand side, I'm doing my tasks. On the right-hand side, I am doing any events, and I'm probably going to include any work meetings in there. And then the rest of the space I'm using for journaling. Uh, you can see that I'm already in this for December because my other planners start in December or are kind of like ongoing things. So I figured why not? You can see a couple days here. I kind of decided that it made more sense to use both sides of the page for journaling if I have the extra space, even though I don't really love the way it looks. It just like affords me more writing area. But that's kind of just December so far. I'm not really using specifically any kind of pens. I'm kind of using whatever this year. This is my oldest Hobonichi A6 pencil board, and I hole punched it. But I have all of December set up and all of January set up. The paper in here, some of it is harvested from old notebooks, and some of it is the Sterling ink pre-printed grid pages. I like the paper, but it's kind of annoying that the grid spacing horizontally is an odd number. So to split the page in half, it falls right in the middle of like one grid spacing, which is whatever. I don't love it. The next section I have is for plant stuff. It's a very small section. I'll probably make this into a cover page, but I have a monthly watering schedule. So rather than just checking to see if my plants need watering, I kind of have like a 30-day schedule of how often I want to water each category of plant. I've been doing this for maybe half a month so far, and it seems pretty good. Obviously, if I'm checking on something that is listed for that day and it doesn't need watering, I hold back, but this just keeps me accountable for everything. I have when did I last list, planty highlights, and plants in and out, meaning like if I bought new plants or I was gifted a plant or something like that, and whether I had to like toss a plant or if I gifted a propagation or something like that. And then I have a houseplant wish list, which I haven't used. I had originally thought I would have more sections in this planner, but this is just empty. And then in the very last section, I have random notes and lists. Mostly this is like a to-do list for playing Minecraft. I haven't used it in a bit. I haven't really been playing much lately, but that's mostly what it is. But I also have things like YouTube video ideas, notes on editing, and stuff like that. All the paper back here was harvested from the A6 Wonderland 222 notebook I had. And that's about it. In the very back, I have some post-it notes just to have access to them easily. In the front, I do have some like business cards, some stickers. In the back, I have some pencil boards and blotting paper. And then in this, okay, fail. In this big back pocket, which I don't necessarily love, it's kind of like adding a little extra bulk. I have a small, I don't need, it's probably a pocket size notebook, but this has like work, confidential like work notes and stuff that I might need to have with me if I'm on a trip or something. So if I do leave the house for like an extended period of time, I would say on like a vacation or like a work trip, I would probably bring this with me, but otherwise it kind of just stays on my desk, and I usually leave it open to the daily page that I'm on right now. It looks chunky, but honestly, there's a ton of room in here. I do have some trouble writing on the left-hand side, but just for like checking off tasks and stuff like that, it's not that big a deal. When I do my journaling, I usually take that piece of paper out and just like write on it on the desk on the flat surface. Next up is my everyday carry. This is also my wallet. This is another Moterm rings cover. Pretty sure this is the pocket size, but like check the description if you're interested. I actually really like the feel of this. I'm pretty sure these are like the same material, but for some reason I like the feel of this one more. Yeah, it's basically my wallet and my grocery list. I have some money in the back. There's change in here. There's car information there. I keep credit cards, insurance, and other stuff in these pockets. I have my Uniball 1 gel pen, which fits perfectly into this little pen loop. And then in here, I have some dividers that break up the pages of the mini pocket Nolty notebook I was using from last year and had planned to use for 2025. Okay, not last year, 2024 and 2025. Basically, I just like ripped up the pages and put them in here. So I have the yearly overviews. I have this perpetual calendar situation that I'll probably log my days worked and my days off. In the monthly section, it's just what grocery stores I went to that week and events, like important events. That's basically it. Holidays, events, and what stores I went to. I use a star to indicate the day that I went shopping. I have all of 2025 in here, and I've already like added in all the important dates. In the weekly pages, I use this for meal planning and a grocery shopping list. So I don't really have a lot in here now because I kind of cleared everything out. But usually I'll have a running list of things I need to buy at the grocery store. And I kind of fill this out throughout the week as things occur to me. And then I have like a list of potential meals, and then I will usually write in the meal as we eat it. The blue dot should indicate days that I worked, and then I'll put a star for days that I went grocery shopping. Okay, there we go. And I have the whole year in here, but I will probably remove stuff as I go just to like, it's not that bulky, but it is to the point where it's a little difficult to add and remove things because when I open the rings, like stuff just wants to fly out. But yeah, this is another functional thing, but it comes with me every time. In this section, I have lists, and it's basically a list of stuff I need the next time I go to stores that I don't frequent very often. So I have one for H Mart, Great Wall, which is a Chinese grocery store, Trader Joe's, because I don't live close to one, Target, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and then I have some extra paper. In this area, I have some of my favorite go-to recipes. It's just easy to have it in here because this is where I just do all my food planning. So if I'm not sure what I want to cook, I can reference this section. I have a list of go-to meals. And then, like I said, some of my favorite recipes. Some of these I get online, and some of these are things that I've come up with myself. I'm using the Petite Page M grid paper. I bought it from Amazon Japan, and it fits perfectly in here. It's also, I'm not sure if it's the same company that makes Nolty notebooks, but the paper is very similar, and so is the grid spacing, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, so just a list of recipes, and I have some extra paper in here. And in the back, I have a section for info. This is the tire pressure that I need to have in my car because every winter the tire pressure is low and it's really annoying. And then I have a list of like all the medications and vitamins I take on a daily basis. This comes in the Nolty notebook. It's like an age tracker, so it tells you, like, you can reference it so you don't forget how old you are. So if you look up the year you were born, it tells you, this column with the blue tells you the age you are. And then I have my emergency contact info, some extra tabs, some extra post-it notes, and then I just hole punched the label that came with the Nolty notebook. I also have a keychain on here. I really like this. It's been really functional and really nice to have like my grocery planning notebook and my wallet all in one. And it fits perfectly in the fanny pack that I'm using right now. I think I want to do a what's in my bag everyday carry edition again soon. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments. Okay, in the category of journals, I have the 5-year journal that I started in 2024, like midway through. It's a Hobonichi Techo A6, 2024 to 2028. I think I started it in June. I bought it when I was in Japan in June. And I've been using it as a fitness and health, and also I would say like mental health journal, where I write about my workouts, and I actually write my entire workout on the right hand side. I also log my weight and what fitness phase I'm in, whether it's fat loss, maintaining, or improvement phase. So yeah, I've been keeping up with this really well. Obviously, some days I don't work out every day, so sometimes this side is blank for now. I started tracking the weather just because I thought it would be interesting. I would also love to like figure out a way to track my steps in here, but I don't know. I haven't really figured that out yet. I can always backlog it because I have all that information in my phone. But yeah, it's been working out really well. It'll be interesting next year when I am back to the place where I had logged the year before. So it'll be cool to see if I've improved or not. Maybe not cool if I haven't improved, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's been working out really well. It's pretty easy for me to keep up with. I don't necessarily have to be in this every single day. I can backlog a couple days. It's not that big of a deal. I also keep a Hobonichi one piece pencil board and a piece of blotting paper in here. The cover is from Etsy. It's not super good quality, but none of the Hobonichi specific covers really spoke to me, so I didn't want to spend like a ton of money on something that I didn't really like that much. Still enjoying this, still keeping up with this, and obviously plan to use this for the next few years. I have 2 other journals that are new. Sorry for the extreme glare, but it's kind of a hassle to put these on and off. I have a Hobonichi Weeks and a Midori A5 notebook planner situation. I'm using this as a cat/pet planner, and this is my Commonplace book. So in here, basically it's all information about my pet. Honestly, I haven't figured out what I'm going to use this page for. Some kind of tracking, but I'm not sure right now. The monthly page I am using for events, like if there's a vet appointment or memories, and if there's nothing else, I'm just doing a little cat doodle. So yeah, most of these are memories, but Mafik had a vet appointment recently, so that goes in there. And so far it's working out really well, and I'll probably continue doing that for the rest of the year. I'm getting like a tiny bit of bleed through if I'm using fountain pens and the Tombow Fudenosuke really like dark, if I'm going over lines like multiple times or I'm coloring something in. But overall, I would say it's holding fountain pen ink pretty well, all things considered. I know a lot of people have had problems with their Hobonichis this year, but like I'm fine with ghosting or whatever as long as there's not like a ton of bleed through. I do have it tabbed by months in the weekly section, but not in the monthly section. The way I'm using the monthly or the weekly section is I'm tracking like pet related chores, which are like cleaning the litter box, giving them food, water, changing the water. And I will say, just because it's not logged doesn't mean it didn't happen. Obviously, we have to give the cat food every single day, but this is just a log of when I do these things. But sometimes my husband will do them, of course. On the left-hand side, this is mostly like functional information, like notes on his health, the food he's eating, whether he threw up or didn't use the litter box correctly, stuff like that. And then at the end of the week, I am using the right-hand side for some just memory keeping and also adding in pictures. So this was the last week of November into the first week of December, and this is the current week. So what I'm doing, because I'm only kind of memory keeping once a week, is I'll have a Post-it note, a sticky note, where I kind of like memory log as I'm going, and then I'll put like my favorite things in here later. Yeah, and I did pre-print a bunch of pictures with my printer on Tomoe River paper that I bought from Amazon, and I'm just kind of like adding those in. I did print them like probably bigger than I needed because I would like to have more area to write. So that's a thing. This is a Hobonichi pencil board. And I think in the next week, I'm going to change up the chore tracking system so that it's over here and it doesn't take up space on this side. And I'll probably figure out like a symbol system to represent like cat litter, water, food, etc. And then in the notes pages, I'll probably end up covering this area with like pictures or some kind of vision board. I don't necessarily think I need to index things, but This back area I'm using for like notes and memory keeping. I haven't written down any like big memories or anything like that, but Mafik did have a vet appointment and I took notes on it. I wrote down the medication, and also I have a little tracker for the medication he was given, because there's two different ones and one needs to stop earlier than the other. And the reason I did it this way is because it needs to be every 12 hours. So it's like 7 days, 2 times a day. This one's 10 days, 2 times a day. I also have another piece of blotting paper in here that I cut down. In the back, there's some pages I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with. I might fill this out. I think this is a pretty cool little measurements page. I don't know what to do with the favorites. I don't know what to do with the My 100. I like this sample symbols and icons page, but the grid spacing is so small, I don't necessarily think someone could easily draw these in one single square. Eventually, I'll probably read this. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure what to do with the 365 days check off. I might just check them off as the days go. In the addresses section, I plan to write down the address of our vet and then maybe like an emergency animal hospital in the area. And then eventually I will fill in my own personal information. In the back, I did a little washi dashboard, I would say inspired by my dandelion diaries. Just some cute washi tapes I had. I did order more kind of like cat washi tape, but and in the front I have some stickers, and this is a Magic card that my husband bought for me. I don't actually play Magic the Gathering, but it's a cute card. So yeah, so far so good in this. It's actually pretty easy to keep up with because it's such like a small journal. And yeah, this is the weeks with the fabric cover and the sushi pattern. I was also looking at that like blue purple periwinkle cover that actually did have cats on it, but this one with the sushi kind of spoke to me more. And Mafik does like fish. He loves canned tuna, so yeah, I ended up just going with this like bright yellow. I also think it's really cute and cheerful. So that is this journal. Also, I just want to say that like I've always been interested in using a Hobonichi Weeks, but I didn't necessarily have a good reason to use one, and this was kind of like a good reason to use one. And I think it's honestly like the perfect size and layout for what I need it for, aside from like those pages that I don't really know what to use them for. But if you have ideas, let me know, please. And then last up, I have a A5 Midori grid notebook. You can see here, the grid spacing is pretty big. This was something I already had just laying around, and it is now my commonplace notebook. This cover is from Lauren Phelps Design. It is old. It's a few years old, but I just needed something to cover it because this is just cardstock. So in here, you can see Commonplace Volume 1, and that's when I started it. This is a list of stuff that I want to write about that I haven't gotten around to yet. And then on this post-it note, I have my key, which I'm using the Zig Kuretake Zig Clean Colored Dot markers. These do not have the bullet tip at the end. It's just the dot side. But right now I'm doing fitness and health things, definitions, other/random, and then plant things. But I have 2 more colors that I could use. Basically, I'm kind of dividing the page on one side and just writing. So I used to do my word of the day from Merriam-Webster in my daily planner, but I've decided to move those definitions into this book so that I have kind of more space to write in my daily planner. So as you can see, I've been using this for a little bit. I've been doing some light research on supplements that I take. I know what they're for, but it's kind of nice just to like really do a little bit of a deeper dive into dosages and benefits and side effects, stuff like that. Also, some of these like fitness things, like about supplements, are things that I'm curious about, but not necessarily taking. I have definitions in here. One of something in the random category. My husband and I were talking about kinetic energy tiles, and I was like mind blown that that's a thing. It's not really widely used right now, but it's something that Japan is looking into, it seems like. What else do I have in here? I looked up about psoriasis because I have psoriasis, but I've never really like done a lot of research into it since it's kind of like a new thing for me. I looked up strawberry begonias because my mom gifted me a strawberry begonia propagation, and I could also like, you know, do research on any of the other multitude of plants that I have that I kind of know a little bit about, but haven't really done like a deep dive into. But yeah, most of the time, this is just my word of the day. Oh, I looked up the Dunning-Kruger effect because it came up in a conversation. I looked up commonplacing. I looked up the Eisenhower matrix. Yeah, I like that this is something that I can use every day, but I'm not really pressured to. So I do end up usually just like opening this up and quickly doing my word of the day. But yeah, it's a place where I can write about any of the random things I Google. Yeah, so far so good. Easy to keep up with for the word of the day. And then I try to set aside some time on Sundays to do some research about other topics. And yeah, when I'm done with this notebook, most likely I'll just jump into something else I have in my stash of books. But, you know, if not, I don't think that these Midori A5 notebooks are that expensive. So, yeah, anyways, that's all that I have for you today. Uh, 2 functional ring planners, and then two Hobonichi journals, and then a Midori. So this was not really the lineup I was thinking that I would have for 2025, but I've been using it for all of December so far, and it seems to be working out really well. Would love to know your thoughts. Leave any comments, questions, or concerns in the comments section. Like I said, I'll try to link as much as possible in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Hopefully, I will have like more detailed flip throughs of some of these coming up soon. Okay, thank you all. See you later. Goodbye.